Hi, welcome to VYAPT Growth Series, Season 2, Episode 38, a platform where we interact with industry leaders and understand the prospects from growth, sustainability, innovation, and opportunities point of view. In our episode today, we have with us Mr. Suresh Kalra, MD of Hubergroup India and President Asia Region. Mr. Kalra is known for his deep expertise in strategic alliances, business positioning, and has been driving growth for the company in his present role. Huber Group is a leading international printing ink manufacturer operating in over 40 countries and serving a broad range of customers. Join us for our further conversation. Welcome to VYAP Growth Series, Mr. Kalra. Namaskar.
Namaste, Pankaj. Pleasure to see you. Call me Suresh. It's a lovely experience being here with you. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much, Suresh. So we have four curiosities in our growth series, and you are a name in the industry, and so is your organization. Uh, so can you help us understand a little around the growth prospects of the industry, and how is it working towards the sustainable future?
Definitely, I think this is something which I really love to talk about. So, thank you for asking this question. And Pankaj, for that, I tell you, I do not, I'm not a veteran to the industry. I work for a company today which is into printing ink, printing solutions, and related chemicals. And it's a 250-year-old, 257-year-old to be precise, old company, and with a lot of legacy. And this industry is like that. We call it people who work in the industry for long as inky. I've yet to be inky. I'm just 2 years old in the industry. I worked in different market segments in the past, but this industry really fascinates me, and I really want to talk about it once you've asked. I've worked in various industries, but this is possibly one of those rare industries where the kind of products which you make touch the lives of common man like you, me, or less common men like people above or below. But they are using the products every single day, like all the time. And that is really fascinating when I joined the industry and when I saw and I start seeing things around. So, for example, if I get up in the morning, the first thing which I do is read a newspaper, even today. Possibly because in my age group, I still like to read newspapers. So I read 3 newspapers a day in the morning. First thing is, and that's being made by printing inks. I take my cup of tea using a tea bag. The tea bag is printed with the name is a printing ink. If you're not using a tea bag and you're using a typical way of how we make tea in India at our homes, you still use a pack, whatever brand you use, that's also printing ink in the packaging. Then you go further during your day, you have your breakfast and whatever you eat. Okay, sometimes I eat parathas, but let's say you're eating a cereal and then you're opening the cereal box, and then the cereal box also is used by printing solutions, the printing inks, the carton box is made, or the folding carton as we call it in our language. You continue during the day, during your lunchtime, in the evening snack, you're using any biscuit packets or toast packets or bread or anything, printing inks are used in that. You go for shopping, you open your wallet, you take a currency note from your wallet, the printing ink is there, right? You in the evening you try a good scotch, the folding carton is there, the labeling is there, you drink a bottle of water before you sleep. Or in the night, the best thing what you do is you read a book, your favorite book, it's printing ink. So you get up in the morning, you sleep in the night, all your day, the printing ink touches your daily life every day, and it's really, really fascinating. I didn't knew about that before I joined the industry, but once I joined, I really see what kind of industry it is. So that's one thing how it fascinates. And then it's a very diverse industry that way. I would say because so for example, I mentioned a couple of things, right? So newspaper, printing ink, advertising. These are the markets where the new technology is evolving. We are going into more digital platforms. So this is slightly on a decline side, I would say, as far as the consumption of the printing inks are concerned, which is fair because every industry evolves itself. So they're trying to find new ways to how to do the advertising rather than doing the flyer way or the point of purchase way in the initial days or early days, etc. But now it's moving to digital. But then there are the industry also finding its own ways. So there are new ways of packaging, and whenever any industry or any country, uh, wherever you see the middle class is growing, the packaging needs are growing more and more. So packaging is an industry which is growing at a double-digit CAGR in India from last 3 4 years. Even in the global world, it is growing at a very high single-digit growth. So that these are the diverse market segment which help the industry to grow. Secondly,
You
the industry evolves itself into new technologies. So uh, there are digital printing which is coming, and a lot of printing inks are getting into digital printing. Then there are 3D printing, the things which are the RFID printing and things like that, which is not conventional way of printing, but printing industry is also trying to find all possibilities of helping what the new customer needs would be. So net, I think I can go on and on because I really get fascinated by this, but it's an industry which has a huge legacy. At the same time, it has a huge promise for the future. So I see the growth is continuing to be there in this industry for a long time.
Thank you so much, Suresh, for sharing this. You talk growth prospect of the industry, and you also talk that wherever we are, your product, the wherever the products are, in fact, your ink follows. So
Hmm.
can you help us understand the sustainability features? Because if your product is wherever the people are or wherever the human being is, obviously the sustainability of that product is very important. Can you throw some light around it, and what's the organization or what is the sector as a whole is doing to ensure that there is a safe usage of ink, because we use it even for drinking water, we find that ink on the packaging part of it. Even for the food we eat, we'll find that ink on the packaging part of it. We go to a restaurant, we'll find that. So can you throw some light around it, please?
Sure. I think it's a very, very important question for any industry for that matter, right? And I mean, in our age group, we know that it was not something very critical maybe 20, 30 years back, and then it started growing. And now we all are educated enough to understand and aware enough to understand that what we take from the environment, what we take from the Mother Earth, we need to give it back. You can't just continue to take resources and not give back the resources. I believe this industry has learned it very well. Not that the entire industry is fully organized like no other industry. I mean, I can really see that even in India, for example, there'll be top 5 or 6 companies which are making printing inks, and there will be 75 smaller one, and there might be 400 very small ones. So it's not always fully organized. But net, I would say if I really see the bigger chunk of the industry, it is pretty much organized itself towards its sustainability goals. Okay, a lot of initiatives across this industry has been taken which is supporting the circular economy. We are definitely one of them. And when I say circular economy, what does it mean? I mean, of course, everybody knows it, and there's nothing new I'm going to talk about. But it starts very clearly from where you're buying the raw materials. So, are your suppliers compliant? Are your suppliers are also of the same thought process and alignment as you are, as a customer or as an industry? Then, what kind of products which you are producing now? Products can be various, and different geographies have different needs, and different geographies have different compliance requirements, etc., and things like that. At the same time, you still know what kind of products which you want to produce. You produce products which are, for example, we continue to produce products which are below VOC, which is low migration, low odor products, wherever the toluene free requirements are there, wherever the product is coming in, the food contact requirements are there. So you first is you know the suppliers, then you see what products which you're producing, are they environmental friendly, are they easy to recycle. For example, we produce a product called compostable inks, which is required for the sustainability requirement of one of our customers, and now it is getting kind of popularity among the industry. So we produce a lot of such kind of products. Then how you produce that product is the third thing. How energy efficient you are. All right, industry itself is doing, and of course, as a group, Huber Group, we continue to evaluate ourselves wherever we have huge production and manufacturing units. We continue to do all the permutation combination of renewables and non-renewable sources, wind, solar, all other possibilities of getting into the new age of energy sourcing requirements. We have an energy cell, for example, and I'm not saying that we are the only ones. I think the industry itself is very educated to do that. So what products which we are producing, how we are producing, and then how to dispose of those products, how to create consumer awareness among this. We continue to run programs in this industry. We continue to have certain programs. You might have heard in the chemical industry there is Together for Sustainability program, which give a rating system of EcoVadis silver and gold rating. We got ourselves silver rated very recently,
Okay.
and that's kind of an very good ecosystem where you learn from others and you continue to strive for better. For the ink industry itself, there is a similar program. We call it Cradle to Cradle. They provide you the certification and they provide the training requirements, etc., which is also towards the sustainability goals. So, as an industry, I think we as an industry are pretty much educated, and we as a company continue to spread more and more awareness towards that. So, net, it starts from the raw material, it ends with your product being disposed of or recycled, and everything else in between is critically important towards the sustainability goal. So I'm glad that what we are doing and the industry is doing, but it is so very fast changing and it is so very more demanding for the future. I guess this is something which we're going to focus a lot more than what we're doing today. So that's going to be really our future goal all the time towards sustainability goals.
That's wonderful to hear from you what the industry is doing and what your organization doing in terms of ensuring that we maintain the circularity and we maintain a sustainable future with our products moving across the world where people are using it. My next question or next curiosity per se is around the innovation. You have answered some part of it already, but can you
Mm.
talk around the innovation happening with the industry? You also talked around that this particular industry is also almost organized, and there are some other players and non-organized players as well. But what kind of innovation are we seeing in this industry, or could be possible in another, let's say, 2-3 years or 5 years for that matter? And how is it serving towards the customers better? Before I come on the opportunities part, please.
This is another of my favorite topics. Thank you for raising the right questions. Innovation is a very wide subject, Pankajji. Very, very wide subject. Okay, and I've worked in various industries and various geographies, and not everybody define innovation in the same way as you or me will define, etc. Okay, it's such a wide subject. Okay, I, I, I personally I define for me and my organization what innovation for me is. I will share my thoughts on that. I put innovation into three very large buckets very clearly. Okay, the first bucket is the voice of customer. Okay, the pain of your customer, the products which they're using, because customers are basically you make all the products for your customers. Okay, so you need to hear what they want. Like for example, I used an example in my previous conversation with you on the compostable inks, right? That is the voice of customer. Okay, we developed the product because our customer wanted it, they had a pain to address or they had a goal to achieve, and we helped them do it. Okay, so first bucket is voice of customer or the products which we are producing to support the customer, the market, and the industry. All right. The second, and that's where the all innovation lies in. So for that, we'll have our vitality index metric, in which what is the sale which you did in last in this year, the last 5 year products which you have developed, or last 3 year product which you have developed. Different metrics are there. We use the 5 year metrics. So you have a vitality index, very clearly defined metric. Then you have stage gate processes and things like that. And every stage gate you define whether you have to do it or not. So that's a very clear bucket. The second bucket, which is very important for innovation, is the regulatory, the compliances, the safety, and to some extent sustainability. Right now, this is a bucket where you have to do it. There is absolutely no choice. All right, you live in a country or you produce in a country, you sell in a country, and different countries and regions have different requirements. Europe will have REACH requirements, and there are chemical inventory lists in every company, every country. For example, Thailand would have different, Korea would have different, India would have different, etc. And then there are regulatory needs in which there are certain products which are allowed in certain countries and certain products which are not allowed in certain countries, and coupled with some sustainability needs, because even sometimes some products are allowed in some country, but you take a high moral ground because you know that it is the right thing to do for the future, and then you develop products accordingly. So that's the second bucket. The third bucket of innovation is something which is really for the long term future, all right, and for sustainability of the earth, both. You do not think about the profits there. You do not think about how many products are going to be commercialized from there. You just continue to do the right thing. You continue to develop the new molecules, new formulations, new products, for your customer, for your markets, for the future needs of Mother Earth, and for doing the right thing, right? Now, these three buckets to be managed very, very well, because ultimately your financial resources are still the same, okay? They are not into three different buckets. You have one financial resource and you have to look at the three innovation needs. And that's where continue to evolve your requirements. So that's how we do it. I do it when we are looking at the innovation. But overall, the industry is very innovative. We continue to develop new products. We, for example, at Hubergroup, is one of the leading technical companies for all the offset products, we call it in our language. We continue to develop new systems of color management. We call it, because ultimately it's all colors which you see, right? The inks are basically four basic, but then there are thousands and thousands of colors which are being produced for that. So the industry continue to innovate, continue to evolve, but I would put all my innovation way of doing things into these three buckets, and accordingly we act. I hope it answers your question to some extent.
You have actually explained innovation in the most beautiful way, in fact, I would say, and I'm sure many of our viewers must have admired it, the way you are explaining it in the most subtle language, so that everybody can understand this innovation. Can you also talk around what kind of opportunities the industry is actually producing? And when I say opportunities, what I mean is maybe a direct employment or an indirect employment, or maybe some kind of entrepreneurship opportunities for even small vendors uh, uh, outside. So can you throw some light around it, because that's one of the areas wherein many of us are looking at, considering the fact that the turbulence which is happening across the globe in the last 6-7 months now.
Yeah, I think like any other industry, now every industry would have different needs. You go to the software industry, there the people are required, they are the major resources. We are pretty balanced that way, okay? We are an industry where we need to develop printing inks. At the same time, we as a company, not everybody is backward integrated. We are backward integrated into chemicals. So we make a lot of resins, varnishes, adhesion promoters, pigments, etc., which goes into printing inks also. So, for that matter, for example, we buy more than 1,000 different categories of products every year. Okay, I'm not saying the SKUs, different categories of products. That's quite large. Now, once you are buying such large different categories of products, you started supporting the need of the people, or I would say the staffing need of the people, or the employment generation, directly or indirectly, right from the beginning itself. Then we need a lot of people, of course. We have, for example, we have four large sites in India, so we provide a lot of direct and indirect employment for the industry. And then it goes into a very diverse industry, as I talked, which fascinates me, that goes into so various different market segments. So the industry itself provides a lot of opportunities of direct, indirect employment. I can't say much about entrepreneurship, formal opportunities which these companies provide or the industry provides. But of course, when the industry is not 100% organized, it provides a lot of opportunities for the small entrepreneurs to enter into. I don't say anything formal is there, but I know a lot of friends and colleagues who worked in the industry and then they started their own, and they learned from the industry to start their own entrepreneurship. So it definitely provides that informal way of education to people to go and start off their own. One more thing I would like to possibly add here is and I'm not talking about, I think it may be true for every industry, but because I'm here, I can say more. This industry provide the opportunity of not only a quantity for the employment or employment generation, but the quality is significantly important. Um, as I said, although we have a lot of automation in the industry, we have a very highly computerized system to generate the colors and different thousands and thousands of colors based on various substrate and different color combination. But still, if you remember from one of the advertisements from our childhood, it is Mera wala green and Mera wala pink, etc. is a very, very important thing in the industry. So a very high level of human intervention is still very critical for the quality of final products, actually. And that's what makes it very unique. Even though we have a lot of automation, but the quality of people really make a significant difference in terms of how we produce the products and how we service our customers. And that is also one of the very unique thing in this industry, I would say. So yes, we are a large provider of the possibilities of employment to to the geographies and to the industries.
Suresh, you actually answered all the four questions of the growth, innovation, sustainability, and the opportunities in a way which all of us and all of our viewers could understand, correctly. We also have one of the thing coming up from one of our viewers. A suggestion is innovation through collaboration and providing resources and support for idea generation and implementation could be one of the ways of innovation coming up in this particular industry. Just a suggestion coming from one of the viewers to you, Suresh. And after this question of a lot of wisdom came from, a lot of learning came from your thoughts. I would like to go on to our next curiosity, which is a rapid fire round. 10 questions to you has to be answered in one word each. Each question has to be answered in one word or maximum in 10.
Now I'm worried. I'm not a one word person, and then I do not know what the fire round would be. But okay, I'm curious, anxious but curious. Please go ahead.
Fair enough. So we will move ahead with our rapid fire questions now. Okay, so I will start with the first curiosity in the rapid fire question. 10 question. We'll go very fast here. Who is your inspiration and why?
Definitely my mom and dad. I always looked at them, even today. So definitely both of them my inspiration.
Your favorite dessert?
Uh, I'm not a dessert person. If you allow me, I would possibly change it with two samosas instead of one dessert. Same
You are a
calories.
samosa. Okay, okay. Fair.
Yes, I'm a samosa person. Yes, I declare it officially.
Your uh, okay. Your favorite childhood memory?
Flying kite, घर की छत पे with my siblings, with my brothers and sisters. My favorite memory. Yes.
Your memories are deeply rooted. What do you prefer? Work from home or work from office?
Actually, really doesn't matter. If you have passion for what you do, if you love what you do, it doesn't matter where you are. So immaterial to me.
Your favorite sports person?
Vivian Richards, the West Indian cricket captain.
Your favorite destination?
A very, a very beautiful, serene place near Lonavala. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's Pavna Lake. It's one of the places which every time I go, I really feel very good about.
Okay. The next question: hard work or luck? What would you choose?
Luck, 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 a lot of luck all the time.
Name a song that makes you happy.
बड़े अच्छे लगते हैं ये धरती
Okay.
ये नदियाँ.
बड़े अच्छे लगते हैं. Okay. So I'll move on to the next one. What do you like? Reading a book or watching a movie? If given a chance, you have to choose one among the two. Reading a book or watching a movie.
Reading a book anytime.
If you choose, you know, if you have to choose a career other than what you're doing now, what would it be?
I would have loved
I
to
mean,
be new. Yeah.
except your corporate work, so you cannot
Sure,
go
no
into any
problem.
other industry. That
No, I will
now
not.
I'm in industry. Yeah, a
I've
genuine
been
answer,
there, done
please.
that. Not going into the industry again. I would rather like to be a new age Babaji who can give a lot of gyan to people, earn a lot of money, and make great contacts and be happy.
They also work really hard.
No,
Everybody,
no, no. Hard,
every day,
for
every
sure.
second, people are seeing them. So obviously, they work very hard as
No,
well.
I'm not looking at an
Fair
easy
enough.
life. It's I'm sure a lot of
I know
hard
you
work.
are not looking at an easy life. Okay, so you are going for some hardships as well. Okay, wonderful. One question from my side. These were so easy question. 10 on 10 to you. One question
Ah.
from my side is, if you know you had to make a movie out of your life, what would be the title of the movie?
Can I use the titles
You
which
can
are
choose a
already
new title
existing?
as well. I'm not sorry.
Can I use the titles which are already taken, or I have to choose a new one?
Yeah, yeah, you can, or you can even coin a new title as well.
No, I'll go by the one which I already have. So, Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara is the best title. Be passionate, love
Okay,
your work,
Zindagi
do
Na Milegi
whatever.
Dobara.
It's one time, so have the best out of it.
Wonderful. So for you, it's 11 on 11 rapid fire questions, and you have answered them really well. Now we'll move on to the fourth curiosity, and which is the final curiosity. And people are admiring the kind of insights you have given them, and some interesting dialogue you are having with us, and they are happy with the conversation happening on this platform. I move on to our last curiosity, which is around you as a leader. I'm sure because and this question is mostly asked by the youngsters, people those who are in 20s and their 30s, and many of the calls which we get in our office talks around the what makes you the leader you are. So I'm sure it is not just one day, it is over years which has shaped your personality, shaped up your thought process. So what are the memorable lessons which you must have got from your teachers, mentors, parents, society, or otherwise, and what kind of leadership style do you follow?
Yeah, that's a pretty interesting question. Sums up anybody's life. I'll try to be short. Um, so I started my career with a French company. Very aggressive, very assertive, try to do a lot of things, and learned over a period of time. And life teaches you, your experiences teaches you, and a lot of mentors, of course, right from your childhood, as I said, my mom and dad, but a lot of people I met during my career, which actually shaped up the thoughts which I am speaking today. It's always picked up from somewhere, of course. Um, I would I would say that if I have to really summarize what I learned and which really shaped up my career, the first thing is continue to upgrade yourself, learn all the time. All right, N- always learn from people, learn from books, learn from every conversation. Like having a conversation with you, I'm learning a lot today. Every conversation, every experience teaches you. Continue to upgrade yourself all the time. I change industries a lot, and not because I get bored in an industry or something, but I believe it's one life. You need to learn a lot of things. You need to continue to upgrade yourself rather than sticking only to one technology, one place, one geography, one industry, etc. And that's first lesson which I learned, which really helped me shape up my career. Continue to upgrade yourself all the time. Second, and very very critical, I would say, is to develop a circle of trust with people, and that trust has to be a combination or an intersection, I would say, of character and competence. Okay, and it's a very minute thought process, and I really loved it and use it on a very regular basis with me and a lot of people I work with. Trust is trust. We use the word trust very loosely sometimes, but it is always a combination of character and competence. For example, I can trust you, and not picking you as an as a person, but as an example, that I might trust you with a lot of things, but I might not trust you if you have to fly a plane as a pilot and I'm sitting there inside, because
True.
I trust your character, but I don't trust your competence of flying a plane. Okay. And similar way can be other way around. In industry, we meet a lot of people who are very, very dynamic, very smart people, but you cannot trust because the character is not something we can trust on. So trust comes between a character and a competence, and you have to learn it every time dealing with people, that are they bringing both? Are you giving both for somebody to trust you? Okay, that's a very important learning I had very early in my life, and I continue to use it. Third
Okay.
thing which I learned, which shaped my career, is that if you really want to be a leader, not everybody has to be a leader all the time. All right, you people are individual contributors and they do great in their lives and they develop a lot of great things in their life. But if you choose your career to be a leader, I chose my career to be a leader, then you need to do two things continuously. You need to get inspired from others all the time who are doing great, and you need to continue to inspire people. If you can't inspire people, you can never be a leader. So I think there can be many things, but these three things, if I believe I have summarized well, these three things are the minimum which I would say shaped my career, which I learned over a period of time from a lot of people and a lot of books and a lot of experiences, like the one which we are having today. So, thank you for that, Pankaj.
So Suresh, you talked about a lot of things. Probably, going from you starting a career from where you were aggressive to the kind of humility you are showcasing today. For a leader who has learned everything from the society and is gearing up to give to the society now, because of and I'm sure God has been kind to you. You have inspired many, Suresh, with the kind of thought process you carry, the growth mindset you carry, and obviously we have lovely people talking about the kind of thought process you're showcasing over here as well. Thank you so much for being a part of this VYAPT Growth Series, and it was lovely spending half an hour with you. And I'm sure our viewers have actually liked it a lot, especially your movie on your that transcript being Zindagi Na Mile Dobara.
Thank
Thank you
you,
so much.
Pankaj. It has been a pleasure. Thank you to you and to the audience there. Lovely talking to you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.